Good morning, students. Hope you are keeping fine during this period of pandemic. Now I am here to take your physics lessons. In assignment number 10, I have already explained you velocity. Today we will derive the formula for velocity. So let's begin. As you all know, that shortest distance is called displacement, and velocity can be defined as the displacement per unit time. So the body which moves with the speed along with the direction and the time taken to cover that distance is known as velocity. Two bodies with same speed and same direction have the same velocity, and the two bodies with same speed in different direction has the different velocity. So when the body is moving with same speed in same direction, suppose it is not changing its direction, it is moving in eastward direction and continue to move in east, then the body is said to have the same velocity. But if the body keep on changing in its direction, like it begins with east, then it changes it to west and again come back to east, then we said that the body is ensuring different velocities. As velocity has both magnitude and direction, here I have just now told you that velocity is displacement per unit time. What is displacement? Displacement is the distance which mention the direction. All right. So since velocity is displacement by time, so that means velocity has both magnitude and direction. So it is a vector quantity. Whereas speed is a scalar quantity because it has only magnitude. When we talk about speed, we cannot find out in what direction the body is moving. We just discuss the amount of distance covered by the body in unit time. So speed is scalar and velocity is vector quantity. Here we will see the difference between speed and velocity. Please look up to this difference very carefully as there is some printing mistake in your book. Speed is a scalar quantity and velocity is a vector quantity. A speed cannot be zero or negative, but velocity can be zero. Speed is always a positive quantity, but velocity can be zero, positive or negative. All right? Because velocity keep on changing. It keep on changing as the direction changes because it is concerned with the displacement. So it can be zero, positive or negative. I hope till this much you all have understood, and whatever is the printing mistake in your book, please make sure that you do the changes. Now, velocity is uniform as well as non-uniform. Velocity is said to be uniform if it covers equal displacement in equal interval of time. Practically, this is a very difficult situation. So most of the time, velocity is non-uniform or variable. A body is said to move with variable velocity when it covers unequal displacement in equal interval of time, or it may be equal distance covered but direction of the motion is not the same. So to obtain a uniform velocity, it is a very difficult situation because every time when the body is moving, it keeps on changing its direction. So velocity is most of the time is non-uniform in nature. Types of velocity can be categorized in categorized in uniform velocity or variable or non-uniform velocity. Uniform velocity is when the body covers equal displacement in equal interval of time. The body is said to have uniform velocity. As I have told you just now, it is very difficult to obtain a body with uniform velocity, and it is possible only when the body moves in a specific direction with a higher speed. So a very good example of uniform velocity is a rocket moving in free space. As it moves with a very greater as the rocket moves with a very great speed and it possesses the same direction. So this is the best example of uniform velocity. Variable velocity is very common and it occurs every time. When a body covers unequal displacement in equal interval of time, then it is said to be moving with variable velocity or non-uniform velocity. For example, a train moving towards north starting from the station. Now the average velocity is calculated by the total displacement covered in total time taken. For example, the body covers different distance in equal interval of time. Then what we do, we calculate the velocity by adding it and then by adding the time and then by dividing it, we get the average velocity. This is also explained. I have also explained this when we were discussing about average speed. Now there is another topic known as acceleration. In general, acceleration means the body, when we say that the body is accelerating, it means the body is gathering speed. Alright. It is a common phenomena that the body bodies move with uniform velocity. Suppose a car moving in a road cannot move with uniform velocity. Here I would like to tell you, whenever any vehicle moves on a road, it cannot have a uniform velocity, and the reason for it are many. It could be the traffic signal, it could be the bad road condition, it could be sudden occurrence of an accident, or it could be a road jam. All this affect the speed of the velocity of the vehicle. The velocity of the car may change in magnitude and acceleration or direction or both. Hence, we can say that the car having an accelerated motion, thus the rate of the change of velocity with time is called acceleration. Why I am telling rate of change of velocity? Because velocity never remain constant. It keeps on changing itself due to many situations which I have explained you just now. So acceleration is the change in velocity with time taken for the change. When the road is vacant, suppose the road is empty, the car moves with a greater speed. But when there is a traffic jam, the velocity of the car suddenly decreases. So that is why it is mentioned change in time. And this change in time is calculated as final velocity with the initial velocity. So acceleration V minus U is the change in velocity. So acceleration is equal to V minus U by T, where V is the where A is acceleration, V is final velocity, U is initial velocity, and when it is divided by the time taken to complete the distance is known as acceleration. Unit of acceleration. Acceleration is change of velocity by time taken. So it is meter per second. Meter per second, or you can say it is meter per second, or you can say meter second square. Thus the acceleration is okay. The decreasing velocity or the slowing down of the vehicle. When there is a slowing down of the vehicle, this can also be possible that the moving vehicle slows down its speed, or the velocity keeps on decreasing, and this is known as deceleration or retardation. So what is deceleration or retardation? It is the decreasing velocity or slowing down of a moving car. A body is said to move with uniform acceleration if the rate of change of velocity with the time is constant. Suppose a car is moving with a velocity of u meter per second. It begins to accelerate at the rate of a meter per second square. The velocity will now increase by the numerical value of a. The increase in the velocity with time is therefore equal to at. Hence the initial velocity after time is given by v is equal to u plus at, where v is the final velocity and u is the initial velocity, a is acceleration, and t is the time taken. This is the equation for uniform accelerated motion. If the change in velocity is constant in the same interval of the time, the acceleration is said to be uniform. For example, a freely falling body from a roof. If the change of the velocity is not constant in the same interval of time, the accelerated body is said to be variable. For example, the motion of the vehicle on a busy road. And this variable acceleration is very common. It is very difficult to get uniform accelerated body. I hope you all have understood till this much. So for today, only this much. What you have to do, you have to study the lesson very well, and you have to write about acceleration from here till deceleration, in your fair copy. So for today, this much. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy.